subscribe button, it would mean everything to me. I have noticed in my analytics that like a good 63% of my viewers are not subscribed. So I'm at 17 subscribers right now, which I'm not complaining about. I mean, honestly, I'm thrilled to have the 17 of you that I do. But I know that if the 63% of people who are viewing would subscribe, that would drastically improve my subscribership, and it would really help my channel out. It would really help my channel to be sent out by the algorithm more into more people's feeds, and hopefully reach more people. Of course, the goal of the channel is to expand, but I also am just enjoying the journey. So yeah, I mean, I think it all happens the way it's supposed to. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it would really mean so much to me. And if you do subscribe, I would just ask that you comment below. Let me know that you subscribed, and if there's any requests that you have for a video, let me know, and I'll make it for you. I will, depending on how many requests I get, I'll just let you all know when I plan to release everything. I also apologize for my late uploads. My schedule has been a little weird and backward because of the lack of sun that I'm dealing with. Well, we're all dealing with this winter, and it's thrown my schedule a bit off, so that's why my uploads are a little late, but I'm aiming to change that and get them up earlier so that they also will hopefully reach more people. I think I'm pretty comfortable with releasing the videos late because I want them to be used to help people get to bed, but I also think that maybe releasing them earlier would give more people a chance to see them and maybe save it and go back to it for the nighttime when they want to get to sleep or whatever they want to use it for. So without further ado, why do I always say that? Without further ado, that's what I meant to say. Let's get into the video. So I thought that we would do a little bit of a shorter video today. What I want to do is just kind of mix in a few little triggers in the background like this while I read you a bedtime story. So I know I did something similar to that last episode. So with that one, what I did was I wasn't sure. I didn't want to have any copyright strikes, so I found something online that wasn't copywritten, and I uploaded and I read it, and I read from that, and it was a sweet, kind of generic, like magical fairy tale kind of story, and it was nice. But it was just something that I found, so I wanted to wait to upload a video reading from a sand book by Ariana Rines, who is one of my all-time favorite writers ever. She is extremely talented, so I actually sent her a DM on Instagram and asked if it would be okay for me to read from the book, and she said absolutely, as long as I tag the book, which I'm absolutely going to do. And I would highly recommend for anyone, whether you've heard of her work or not, to look into her work. I mean, I think her work is very much up my alley. I really like it. She's a poet. She's also she's written many books. She wrote The Cow. She wrote Mercury. She wrote this book, a sand book. She has translated books from other languages. I think she translated a book called Preliminary Theory for, or Preliminary looking into her work. Yeah, look her up on Instagram. Just Google her, see if there are any books that you're interested in reading of hers. I'm very happy to have her blessing to read the book here. I'm going to start with reading the first few poems and just kind of go in order. So I'm going to start with just a few poems to kind of get you all to bed, and just a few triggers. So I really like that sound. Another one I enjoy is this. I also really enjoy playing with these little finger stilts. I don't know what else to call them, so I just kind of call them something new every time, and right now they are finger stilts. They're really, really good at I think that I will be purchasing a bigger microphone that I can kind of just stand in the middle here so that I can work with the microphone a little more and use it more for triggers. So hopefully that will be enjoyable, so that I'm not kind of poking at the microphone like that. So before we get started with the book, what I'm going to do is light a candle and light some Palo Santo to set an intention that we just relax and connect and bond, and that you get what you need from this video. Okay, so I'm going to take my finger stilts off for the moment, and yeah, look for my stuff. Okay, so here is my trusty little candle that I love so much. It's like my favorite ever. I think in another video I said it smells like purple, and it does. It does smell like purple, but I wish that I could describe it in a more, just use better descriptive words. But yeah, I was looking to see if it says anything about what it smells like. It doesn't. It smells so good, and it smells so fresh, and it smells like purple. So I need my lighter. Which I'm having a hard time finding, but I found one, so one sec. That's a huge flame, but I couldn't find a smaller lighter, so. So grounding. So, you're setting our intentions. Sorry about that. I was just saying that Palo Santo is so grounding, and just wanted to reiterate that we set our intention here to relax, rest, get ready for bed, decompress. this and just enjoy our time listening to some really nice poems. So I will start off reading the first few. So I want to show this off again just because I'm so obsessed with the gold lettering. I think it looks so beautiful. A sand book. And then we have Kim Gordon on the back giving a rave review. She called it mind blowing, which it is. So we're going to start with the inner jacket, inner sleeve, whatever this little section here is called. Right in there. I want to read that to you just so that you have a little bit of a background. Okay, so let's get started. Ariana Ryan's is my favorite living poet, and a sandbook is one of her greatest acts of alchemy, a poetic supernova transcending magazine feminism, faultless views, the branding of basically everything. To be fully human requires an act of sorcery nowadays, and Ryan's is that sorceress. This was said by Melissa Broder. So the description is as follows. Deadpan, epic, and searingly charismatic, a sandbook is at once relatable and out of this world. In poems tracking climate change, bystanderism, state murder, sexual trauma. I hope I can say that on YouTube. I might have to beep that out. Anyway, shopping, ghosting, love, and the transcendent shock of prophecy, a sandbook chronicles new dimensions of consciousness for our strange and desperate times. What does the destruction of our soil have to do with the weather and the human soul? From sand and the gizzards of birds to the iridescence on the surface of spilt oil, from sandstorms on Mars to our internet-addicted present, from the desertifying mountains of Haiti to Sandy Hook to Hurricane Sandy to Saint-Tropez. A sandbook is both a travelogue and a book of mourning. In her long-anticipated follow-up to Mercury, Ariana Ryan's has written her most ambitious, visceral, and satisfying work to date. I don't know about you, but that sounds super exciting to me. Some more cover art. I just love the font. It's so simple but so eye-catching and so perfect for this book and what its contents. Okay, so here we have the contents, and it starts with Arena. So Arena is the first section, and then there are several poems under that section. So the first is Desero. Next is Son of a Jar. Next is A Partial History. Next is Silicosis. Next is A Boob. And the last one that I will be reading tonight is Solstice Poem. After that, I will make another video and keep reading them. I think it would be a nice little series to just read the poems of the book. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started on the reading. as not as quick as at those languages, but Desero. Desero is I love Ariana. So many plays on words here. I'm thinking Desero means like, it's like an homage to the desert and to sand, but also Desero as a desire, desiderato in Italian. Desiderato, I think that means desire. Yeah. Desiderato, desire, bisogno, need. Yes. So yeah, I just really appreciate that play on words. So just pay attention to the play on words as we go, or don't. You can just enjoy the pretty sounds of the words, and maybe you can come back and listen to it more in depth when you're not trying to fall asleep. So either way, however you want to do it, but I would urge you to listen another time when you're not going to bed. Okay, so we're starting with Desero. We have this little image on the page before of a book that looks like it was, like it's kind of falling apart. It doesn't have a seam. Kind of looks like a Bible, but I don't think it is. So, Desero. I leave, I depart, I quit, I forsake, I abandon, I give up, I let down. Son of a jar. There are things not found in books, or perhaps you have been reading the wrong ones, pulling down from a high shelf the fabulous album only to find it writhing with worms. Nothing touches me until I permit it. Not even kindness can disturb my sleep. I have been to caves, sure. I have lived in them. I lay on the mosses in Valhalla. But what difference would it make to you? There are nectars hidden in your body. Suck your own tongue. A partial history. This one is a little longer, just to warn you. A partial history. Long after I stopped participating, those images pursued me. I found myself turning from them, even in the small light before dawn, to meet the face of my own body. Still taut and strong, almost too strong, a house for so much shame, not mine alone, but also yours. And my brother's, lots of people's. I know it was irrational, for whom I saw myself responsible and to whom I wished to remain hospitable. We had all been pursuing our own disintegration for so long by then, that by the time the other side began to raise a more coherent complaint against us, we devolved. With such ease and swiftness, it seemed to alarm even our enemies. By then, many of us had succumbed to quivering, idiocy, while others drew vitality from new careers as public scolds. Behind these middle management professors were at pains to display their faultless views, lest they too find censure, infamy, unemployment, and death. At the hands of an enraged public, individuals in such pain and torment, and such confusion, hardly anyone dared ask more of them than that they not shoot, and in fact many of us willed them to shoot, and some of us were the shooters, and shoot we did, and got us square, in the heart and in the face, which anyway we had been preparing these long years for bullets and explosions and whatever else a that served it, we did for free, in exchange for the privilege of watching one another break down. Sometimes we were the ones doing the breaking. We would comfort one another afterward, congratulating each other on the fortitude it took to display such vulnerability. The demonstration of an infirmity followed by a self-justificatory recuperation of our own means and of our own ends, in short, of ourselves and our respect for ourselves. This amounted to the dominant rhetoric of the age, what some called sharing, which partook of modes of oratory and of polemic, of intimate journals, and of statements from on high, issued by public figures, whom at one time or another we all mistook ourselves for. Anyway, it wasn't working. None of it was working. Not our ostentation, and not the uses we put our suffering to. The guilt and the Schadenfreude-based attention we extracted from our friends and followers, and even the passing sensation of true sincerity, of actual truth, quickly emulsified into the great and the terrible metastasizing whole, to the point it began to seem wisest to publish only within the confines of our own flesh. But our interiors had their biometrics too, and were functions not only of stardust, the universe as we now were prone to addressing the Godhead, but also of every mean and median of the self-same. Vicious culture that drove us to retreat into the jail of our own bones, and the cramped confines of our swollen veins and ducts in the first place. Our skin was the same mole they talked about on the news, and our hearts were the bombs whose threat never withdrew. Images could drop from above like the pendulum in the pit, and the pendulum, or killer drones to shatter the face of our lover into contemporaneous pasts, futures, celebrities, and other lovers, all of whom our attention paid equally in confusion and longing, and a fleeting sense like passing ghosts of a barely remarked upon catastrophe that was over, both before and after it was too late. We were ancient creatures, built for love and war. Everything said so. And we could not face how abstract it was all becoming, because it was also all the opposite of abstract. It was our flesh, our mother's bloodied forehead, on the floor of Penn Station, and wherever we hid our face, amid a crowd of stars, for example, as Yeats once put it. And for stars, insert celebrities or astrology here, your choice. And even when we closed our eyes, all this was all we looked at, every day, all day. It was all we could see. We were lost in a language of images. It was growing difficult to speak, yet talk was everywhere. Some of us still sought to dominate one another intellectually, others physically, still others psychically, or some of all of the above. Everything seemed to congeal into bad versions of sports by other means. And sports by that time was the only metaphor left that could acceptably be applied to anything. The images gave us no rest, yet failed over and over, despite the immensity of their realism, to describe the world as we really knew it. the 7 concentric walls of Ekbatana, and by the ravishing anguish of living with which no commiseration comes from the high authorities, I wish to praise the shining altar set with mangoes in back of the nail salon, and the acts of healing and generosity being transacted there. Haboob. I would tell you I edited out what I didn't want to see there, but it persisted behind my eyes. One man punched a rhinoceros-like man with his robot arm. A woman was having her makeup done. I'm so nervous, she said. She did not appear nervous. She did not appear to feel at all. Her skull was inside her face, softer and more loving now. Below the guts, an act of desperate sorrow gets committed the root of all sanctimony. In principled gestures, or an act of sobriety among likers and shamers, the fear of a green planet, fear of a human planet. And last, for tonight, we will be reading the Solstice poem. It's hot water to help with my voice. I love hot water. Does anyone else? It's kind of weird, but it's good. I like tea as well, but I actually prefer just plain hot water. Don't know why. Anyway, last but not least for tonight is a solstice poem. Okay. Walking toward the water, I passed a woman twerking in an open car door. Over the lap of one, whose hand reached out to stroke her at the seam of her tight denim jean shorts. She held a large soda in one hand. The sun was setting over great confusion and a great gray grief, which seemed to be the acid ocean itself, pocked with bullet holes and sobbing in secret at the source. So what did y'all think? I think it was a beautiful beginning. I thought I would just do a little bit of page shuffling at the end as a nice little tingle trigger, so gonna do that now. I have so many books, sometimes I just want to just read them all on camera and share all of my favorite books with people online. I promise I won't make content only about books. I will make content about books, but it won't be the only content, but it is some of my favorite content. I really just love reading, and I really just love books, and I really particularly love Ariana Rines. Like, literally favorite writer, favorite living writer, hands down. I wonder if that does any gives any hairbrush tingles. candles. I tried to pick up the candle, it's way too hot. I can't pick it up. You're safe, you're safe, you're safe. You're safe to get to bed. Everything is okay. Everything is as it should be. Your only job is to rest tonight. That's all you have to do. Your only job is to take care of you and to feel better, okay? Get the rest that you need. I hope that you really enjoyed the video, and I really hope that you enjoyed the poems. I love them. Let me know if you're into that. I'm happy to keep making more. I'm planning to continue. Definitely let me know if it's something you're into. And like I said, if you are kind and gracious enough to smash that subscribe button for me, then make sure to comment that you did, and then just comment along with what kind of video you would like for me to make, and I will make you the video. With the disclaimer, just as long as I know how to make it. If I don't know how to make it, as I always say, I will look into how to make it, and then I will make it for you. But if I know how to make it, I'll just make it. So yeah, let me know what you are kind of wanting to see for me. I'm happy to make whatever my subscribers